As a young boy, I always wondered how people had been able to convince themselves that they have life all figured out. They believe that if they just read the Bible and do whatever the Bible tells them to do, that they're safe. Or if they just read the Quran and followed the rules and the laws of Quran, that's it. That's what life is about. It's that simple. Or they believe that if they just did things the way their ancestors did things, or the way their ancestors instructed them to do things, that's life. That's all they need to do to figure life out. That's all they need to survive, and that's how things should be done. They had conveniently created a certain box with certain dimensions that they figured out everyone would fit in. And anybody who does not fit into that tiny little box of theirs deserved to be punished, demonized, or delivered. So, growing up in the environment that I did not exactly fit into that tiny little box of theirs. In fact, I was the opposite of an ideal son. I was feminine. I liked feminine things. And I idolized women. And it became very clear to me that I really do not fit into this box. And so I had a lot of why questions. I remember very vividly, I would ask my mother questions like, who said this? And every single question that I asked somehow always came back to one person, God. And so one day I asked Mom, who is God? If He created us, who created Him? And I remember she didn't exactly have any answer to that. She instead directed me to the pastor, because apparently the pastor knows best. The pastor knows God more than we know God. God is their best friend. So they have the right answers for everything. I grew up in the church. My family business is church business. One of my first few memories as a human being were in a church service, somewhere, somehow. All of my uncles are pastors, priests, bishops, and all of my aunties are deaconesses and female assistant pastor. So I always had to spend a lot of time in the church, and I was very much used to the teaching of everything you do, think, or say have to be church approved. Everything you wear, every single thing about your life has to be church approved. Otherwise, you're doing it wrong, or you're thinking it wrong. For them, the church was a holy place where it's full of love and it's full of righteousness, blessings and favors and light and purity. But for me, it was the opposite. I remember every single time that I would step my foot into the church, I feel guilty, I feel bad, I feel negative energy from everywhere. I was very nervous. I never had any peace. I was full of bitterness. I never had any happiness in there. Because not only have I been told that people like me do not fit into this box, we are evil and we are the devil's spawn, they will not stop talking about it. And for people who preach love and purity and happiness, the amount of hatred and the amount of bitterness with which they will speak about these things, it was just too heavy for a young boy. So I always felt like an outsider everywhere I went. I was full of confusion. I was lost. I was dying of guilt. I remember the only ever prayer that I would pray was for God to change me. I was full of bitterness. I was full of hatred. I hated myself. I hated being alive. I hated everything about me. Not only did I feel very alone, I knew that I was very much alone in this. I was the only one dealing with this, and so I dared not say anything to anyone. I hated myself because being gay is the last thing you would want to be in Nigeria. So the only thing I knew to do then was to remain very tight in my closet. I realized that I was gay at a very, very young age, and that was where the darkness started. Because it meant that I had to be in the closet. I had to teach myself how to remain in the closet. And remaining in the closet for a young boy like I was did no justice to my self esteem. It meant that I had to be in the shadows. I had to hide my light. I had to hide my glory. I was hiding a huge part of myself. I learned to just be the backup singer and let people shine. I decided that I was not good enough to be at the front. I was not good enough to be glorified. My glory was not mine. These things forced me to grow up much, much faster than people my age. Because I believed that I deserved nothing good, because I was a devil spawn, I let people step over me. I let myself be bullied. I let people beat me up. I just punished myself and I let people punish me. I expect people to punish me and I gracefully accept punishment from everyone. While all these things were going on, I had no one to confide in, although I had a lot of adults around me. And the things that I hear them say or the way that I see them act didn't exactly motivate me to open up to anyone. I remember my own mother calling me out. One night, I don't remember exactly what the conversations were about, and she was speaking to me directly. I could feel the heaviness in her eyes. I could feel the fear in her voice as she told me, God hates homosexuals. I was suffering mentally, but unfortunately for me, mental health was not really a thing for them. They believed a child only needs money, good education, food, and proper discipline. So anything outside of that, you're on your own. Being in the closet, I was quite used to watching people. I just sat around and watched everyone. I saw how they acted, I saw how they behaved, I saw the things that they do. And it was only then that I realized that the others only somehow find a way to glorify themselves. They don't really know shit. They're not as righteous as they tell us, and they're not as good as they say. Hey guys, so outside, of course I am a celebrity. Everyone is fucking looking at me, but that's not the point. The point is, Vlogmas is going well, I think, and I am kind of trying to settle in and trying to like keep calm and finally enter the flow. There's a lot of things I would like to do, and there's a lot of things I would like to go as I've planned them and or as I would like them. But yeah, winter is nice. It's going well. There is something I would actually like to do right now. So I would like to go look around and see if there's anywhere I can find plants. I feel like plants have been a very good addition, positive addition to my mental health. So I would like a few plants around my house, in my room, I mean, or at least a flower, something green or something alive that doesn't move, something that grows, or something that just breathes. You know what I mean? So, judging from the look of things, obviously it's winter, so there's no much stuff that I can find around here. But I'm just gonna go and take a look and see what I can find. Hopefully, I find something useful. Otherwise, I'm gonna really be disappointed. But anyways, we're gonna go. Look at this man. He looked at the camera. He saw it running, and then he deliberately decided to walk through it. And he's looking at me weird. He was walking that way, and then he intentionally walked this way. Anyways, why am I discussing this man? Please, let's go. This video is not for the purpose of getting people's attention or pity. It's not for me. Believe me, I've done all of the work that I needed to do on myself. And I can assure you, I am a much more stronger bitch than I used to be. This video rather is for anyone out there suffering alone, feeling alone. You need to realize that you're not alone. You have yourself, and you are enough to love yourself. I have now realized that people are not listening because they don't care about you. People are not listening because they're too selfish, they're too self-involved, and they're too self-obsessed that they have the strength and energy to pay attention to you, to pay attention to your kind of suffering, because it's not the kind of pain that they know, or it's not the kind of pain they want to be associated with. I am going to end the video here because it's getting quite heavy here, and I don't like heavy. Please like, comment, and share to anyone you think would benefit from this. See you guys later. Bye.